everyone, and welcome to Elkhood, the show where we like to feature local businesses and community leaders. My name is Iñaki. I'm a real estate agent with Royal LePage, and I'm happy to introduce you today to Ray Coop. Ray is the owner-operator of Firestone Creations. I'm very excited about this interview because Firestone does incredible custom concrete work, and I can't wait for you guys to learn more about it. Ray, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Ray, why don't you start by telling us a bit more about your business?
Sure. We are, as you said, Firestone Custom Concrete Creations, and we build concrete countertops. We also do kitchen and bathroom sinks, vanity tops, and we also ship a few products like concrete lazy Susans, as big as 40-inch in diameter, sometimes a little more small, like a 12-inch one. And we do vessel bowl sinks and fireplace surround, so a lot of different stuff. And we do it all in our shop out of what's called GFRC, which is a glass fiber reinforced concrete. So it's a little different than your traditional concrete that you'd see on a sidewalk.
Very, very cool. How did you get started?
Well, that's a good question. I spent about 30 years in the rubber industry, and it was a great career. And along the way, the world changed like it has for long. This is a story that I think many people have had. And all of a sudden, the crafts that I had honed over many years were no longer of value to the company that I worked for. And I was in my middle age, and I needed to find a new career. And the skills that I had, I learned really quick, were not really valuable to most of the market. So I had to reinvent myself. So I've always been mechanical. I've always been handy, hands-on, and I've also been creative. So I looked for something. And I found a little company out of Edmonton that had crafted this product that I had played around with as a hobby. And it just worked out where, he was also in a situation where the world had changed, family situation, and he wanted to move and be closer to his kids, but he needed to sell his business. So we worked out a deal where I bought the assets of his company, and he was able to then afford to move to be closer to his kids. And at the same time, I think one of the smartest things I did is I had him on contract for the first year to make me look smarter than I am.
So you could learn from him. That's
and
great.
it just helped me with developing my business.
That's great. What a great story to be able to turn your hobby into your work.
Absolutely.
And your shop is at a Cochrane, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
So what drove you to service the Elk Valley?
Common sense, I think. The concrete countertop business is a small market, and the big market is lots of stone surfaces out there in granite and quartz, and they are great products. And it's not my job to sell you away from those. If that's what you want, that's what you should have. But there is a small part of the market that just likes that warmth and customization of a concrete product, but it's a smaller part of the market. So we can't just draw a 45-minute circle around our business and try and service that. We need to go farther out to get those customers. And quite honestly, when we look across the mountain range, all the way from Canmore into the parks and down in the valley, we see a lot of people that like that rustic beauty. You see a lot of rough honed timber. We see some stonework, natural stonework, and concrete just fits that warm back feeling of what we see building in the mountains. So it just makes sense.
Absolutely. Honestly, I've been looking through your Instagram, your feature pictures, and it looks incredible. It's like functional art almost is how I would like to describe it.
Thank you.
What do you like to do for fun when you're not working?
Well, like I said, I have always been working with my hands, so I always have a few projects in the garage that I work on. I used to play sports. That seems to be a little bit less now, so I tend to watch sports on TV at night. And of course, I always want to connect with my kids on the weekends, and whatever they want to do is what I want to do. And then a little time with family and friends is always a good thing.
Right on. What's your top sport?
Hockey.
Hockey, nice.
Yes. I won't tell you who I cheer for, but they're pretty close to Calgary.
Nice. Right on. What are your business goals in the next 1 to 3 years?
Well, I think That's almost a two-part question. In the short term, in the next year, what we want to do is we want to work on ergonomics is kind of something we're spending a lot of time with now. We've got a lot of young people working for us, young men and women, and concrete is very heavy. And what I don't want to have is kids that when they get to be my age, they have a very bad back because we're doing things wrong. So lately, we've been spending a lot of our time and effort on getting new tools and equipment that can roll things that we can lift, and because we do this all by hand, and it's a lot of heavy lifting. So in the next year, we're spending a lot of our time, like I said, just building equipment, and we have to design most of it ourselves because the industry is that small and there's nothing really customized that works. So we're working with our local machine shop to design this equipment to handle it better for ergonomics. So that's kind of in the next year. And I think on the longer term, my dream is to have more operations, more locations. So we are eyeing up some other opportunities to expand into different cities.
Very cool. I love how you're tying that safety aspect of your job into it.
Hmm.
What would you say is the biggest challenging to accomplishing your midterm goals, I guess?
Time and energy. Money is always the one on the background, and finances is always a bit of a concern, but we're doing okay. So as long as we're reasonable financially, we're fine. I think time and energy is the biggest thing. I put in a full day at the work at the shop every day, and then I spend a couple hours on my computer. I'm chief cook and bottle washer, which means I'm the accountant and everything at night. And so then when you're working at growing your business and developing new stuff, having that time and energy to keep working on it is probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and balancing that with the rest of your life. I bet you
Absolutely.
a lot of people can relate to that. Ray, for people that want to learn more about your work, maybe new clients, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Call me. We are available on a lot of social media. Our handle is Firestone CCC, short for Custom Concrete Creations, and we are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Etsy, YouTube, and our website is also firestoneccc.com. So you can see our stuff there. You can kind of get to know what we do, and we've got a lot of images. But the best way to start a project is call me. It always ends in a conversation, or it starts in a conversation. And so, yeah, pick up the phone and call us.
Perfect. That's awesome. Ray, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and have a chat with me. I've really enjoyed learning more about you and your business. I'm really excited to see more of your work come into the area.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to share what we do. I appreciate it.
You betcha. And everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you or someone you know would like to be featured on this show, reach out to me today. My name's Iñaki. I'm your local real estate expert, and I'll see you next time.